So as you can see right here, I got a new little toy. Pays to know people. This bike was free 99. It's full of parts, FMF, seat. Also stopped at Walmart. Got me a jug, some premix oil, and some engine oil. Was a good buddy of mine. Come out to polish the wheels on my 1-ton, and he's seen my fiance's dirt bike sitting in the shop, and he's like, "Hey, you know, what's the story on that dirt bike?" I was like, "Oh, you know, just kind of told it to him. Bought it out of a barn from a buddy, got it running." And he's like, "Well, do you want another one?" I said, "Well, what do you mean you want another one?" And he's like, "Well, he thought it was a CR80, but he's like, I got a CR80, and I was like, "Oh, you know, what's wrong with it?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know. I think it needs a top end. But nonetheless, you know," I was like, "Well, what do you want for it?" And he's like, "Well, I'll just give it to you." And I was like, "Shut up, dude." And he's like, "Yeah, just come to the house and grab it." Well, as you can see, I just got done picking it up at the local Walmart, getting some supplies, and when we get back to the house, I'm going to see if I can tinker around with this thing and see if I can get it to fire up. It's got compression. I don't know if it's got spark. I'll check that too, but throw some fresh oil in it, throw some fresh gas in it, see if I can't blow the cobwebs out from under it. So, just got this thing to the house, just got it off the truck, into the shop, onto my good old bucket. First things first, I kind of want to just like tear it apart and see if it needs a top end or not. Judging by the way the air filter looks, I have my suspicions, but I don't want to do that yet. I want to put some fuel to this thing and see if it fires up. First, I'm going to see if it's got spark. Ow, fuck. So after shocking myself, we obviously see that it's got a decent amount of spark. So I guess I'm going to put this thing together, see if I can feed it the fuel, and obviously make sure it's got some oil in it. And I mean, unless something's seriously wrong, I don't see why this thing wouldn't run. So we'll report back in a second. So after kicking it, I'm going to go ahead and go on a whim and say that even though it's got compression, it's not what it needs. So I'm going to pull this freaking valve cover off, or, you know, this piston cover, look in there. And then I might pull this jug off and just see how it looks. Looks like someone put a good carb on it because it's noticeably cleaner. So, as you can see, the inside of there looks pretty good. There's no scoring, there's no scratching, there's no nothing. Top of the piston looks pretty good as well. It's got good articulation. I got an audience, but it's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, quit looking at him.
The Three Musketeers over here. After the last clip, a lot of me giving up and other people taking charge of the project. And it only runs on choke, so that's like half the battle, but as soon as I want to make the video, I don't know. I guess I did.
Hey, Taylor.
Man, fuck this thing. So, after that last video, it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. I was a little upset and a little defeated and a lot tired, so I gave up. Went out there this morning and pulled the plug out, and what do you know? The jetting is off in the carb, so it is super lean. I'm almost positive my fuel mixture is off in the carb too, so it's white. It's smoking really heavily. But I pulled the plug out, fed it a little heat, cleaned it up, stuck some sandpaper in there, polished off the little electrode, and threw it back in. And then that goes into this next clip. So now that you can see that the bike is running, I did manage to ride it like across the field and back. It was super dark, and when I went back to the truck to get a headlamp, my makeshift welding wire master link on the chain broke, and it lost the chain. So I got on old eBay Motors, ordered up a chain, and gonna wait for that to come in. But the plans for this bike is, I mean, it'd be easy to sell it and make a quick flip, but I'm going to hold on to it. I mean, there's nothing better than a free bike. So I'm going to order some plastics and air filters, seat cover, all the goods for it. And going to teach old Hope here how to ride a two-stroke. So, yeah, that is how you take a free CR85 and get it running in less than a day. So